And we want to get some perspective, Hala, from our own Fareed Zakaria, the host of Fareed Zakaria GPS, which airs here on CNN. Fareed's joining us now from Dubai. So when you heard that Gaddafi, Fareed, was dead, what went through your mind?
I was surprised, Wolf. You may recall we had a conversation on air a couple of months ago where you asked me whether I thought he'd give up. And I never thought Gaddafi would give up because he was not a bureaucrat like Hosni Mubarak. He was not somebody who had been standing in line in the regime and it became his turn to be the dictator. He was a revolutionary. He was a guy who had launched a colonel's coup 42 years ago. He had always been a kind of fighter, a romantic, mad, crazy, and as a result, I always suspected that he would go down fighting. I also thought that there was much less to his force than people made out. He did not actually have lots of tribes loyal to him. He had paid off a bunch of them, but once the money starts drying up, that kind of loyalty disappears pretty quickly. I also thought it was a sad statement about the way in which he and his sons, as you pointed out, will plundered the country, wrecked it economically, and were unable to even provide some kind of transition to a decent next stage.
You know, you speak about the sons. We saw the picture of Mutassim that Libyan state television has just showed, confirming that he was killed today as well. El Arabiya reporting that Saif al-Islam, the other son, was killed, although we have not independently confirmed that. If, in fact, both of these sons, Fareed, are dead in addition to the father, that represents the really, I would say, for all practical purposes, the complete end of any hope that any Gaddafi ever might reemerge and take charge.
I think that's right, though there was very little hope in any event. You know, I've interviewed Gaddafi when he was in New York. I think I was the last Western journalist to interview him. And at the time I had negotiated with Mutassim, the guy who we've seen now dead. And he struck me as a playboy. He struck me as a rich kid. He had just come back from Las Vegas in a private plane with girls and God knows what else. These were not people who could really have succeeded Gaddafi. Gaddafi had become even more crazy than usual, and his sons were running things. But at the end of the day, Gaddafi was the of that regime. The sons were just, they were spoiled brats who I couldn't ever see being able to succeed. Mutassim came across as extremely immature, slick, like a young mafia gangster more than a leader in waiting.
Although Saif al-Islam, as you know, he did get a doctorate from the London School of Economics, although there were investigations later whether he plagiarized and simply paid for that doctorate. You remember that scandal, don't you, Fareed?
Oh, yeah. Saif was a more a cerebral character. He was smart. He spoke very well and often spoke very movingly about trying to liberalize Libya. But then there was another side to him. He was a great playboy, spent time in Monte Carlo and the casinos of Europe. None of these characters seemed really to have either the capacity or the power to be real nation builders. In the context of being the son of Muammar Gaddafi, Saif was impressive, not on his own. And I think that what you'll see is the coterie around Gaddafi will crumble entirely. This was a one-man regime. It was a one-man cult, and now that man is gone.
All right, Fareed Zakaria on the scene for us in Dubai. Fareed, thank you very much.